Hey everybody, how the heck you doing this fine day? Steve Dotto here, and I want to welcome you. And we're gonna welcome you into the room if you're a graybeard, if you're over the age of 50. If you're under the age of 50, ask your parents permission to join us tonight because I'm not sure that. Yeah, we are focused on baby boomers and Gen X today. So how the heck's everybody doing? Let us know where you're coming in from and say hi. Do not be a stranger. That would be counterproductive. We want to have a good conversation with you today. I'm Steve Dotter. I'm with April. How are you doing, April?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm good. We've been doing a lot of live streams, folks. We've been doing a lot in Facebook Live. We've been doing it every day for the last 8 days. This is the second YouTube Live we've done, and we've had a webinar in the mix. So we've been doing a lot of social broadcasting over the last little while because right now we're concentrating on one topic and one topic only, and that is helping baby boomers understand the world of online business and discover whether or not
Yep.
it's a place that they should be participating. So that's our topic today. If you're joining us, hopefully, as I say, you're over the age of 50, and if not, then get permission to be here. And B, I want to know if you're interested in building online businesses. I have recently become quite passionate about the plight of the gray zone, the baby boomers and Gen Xers, what's happening to us in the world of business, and how we look at ourselves to a certain extent, and how we see our place in the world, and what our future holds. And I know this is a deep topic. This is a deep topic for late in the evening on a Thursday evening. Depending on where you are, it's 7 o'clock at night here. April, it's 10 o'clock at night, way past her bedtime. Uh, by the way, my favorite quote of the week, as we've been sharing with different people, is we were talking about baby boomers, and somebody did the hackneyed, 60 is the new 40, which okay, 60 is the new 40. I think 40-year-olds used to feel like crap then, but 60 is the new 40. But then somebody says, yes, but 9 o'clock is the new midnight. For when we all
That's
go to bed, how much we sleep. So that is really true as well. Look at this, and holy cow, we got people from Nigel's on from Australia.
just
What
awesome.
time is it, Nigel, in Australia? We've got Linda from where's Linda from Oregon,
Lindsay.
so that's West Coast. That's
Lindsay.
pretty good. We've got Chris, who's come from Cambodia. Good heavens.
And I think Chris was with us earlier on Facebook, if I'm
Oh,
not
man, Chris is a
mistaken.
dedicated.
Oh, it's 1 o'clock in Australia. It's already tomorrow.
1 in the morning. Is that
No,
right?
1 p.m. No, 1 p.m.
1 p.m., 1 in the afternoon. So this is a reasonable time for them. That is
Yes.
awesome. 1 p.m. here. So
Ken's from
Nigel says,
Calgary.
okay, Ken's from
Uh,
Calgary. That's just an hour ahead of us here, or an hour. Yeah, so I think they're just an hour right now, depending on if it's
oh,
daylight savings or not.
J JYH is in Hong Kong.
Okay, how you doing? Good stuff. Good to see you there. So, at any rate, let me get back to what I was talking about as far as baby boomers and what we face. So, increasingly, we are starting to recognize that baby boomers and Gen Xers, in a lot of cases, are being pushed out of their jobs. We're reaching the age of retirement. People are expecting us to retire. In a lot of cases, companies are moving baby boomers out of their jobs because they can hire somebody else cheaper to do the same job. And here's the challenge that we then face: is it is increasingly difficult for us to get a job in the same industry at the same level as it was before. In fact, a lot of people feel it's nigh on impossible now to get that job. So baby boomers are being forced into what I call a reluctant retirement, and we're not happy about that. And a lot of times we don't have a lot of options. People talk about the gig economy. What the hell has the gig economy got to do for us? I mean, yes, it's nice that you can get a job as an Uber driver, but if you have been a manager teaching people, coaching people, building a team, and all that entails. The nurturing aspect of being a really effective and good team leader. And you've been doing that for 20 years in your industry, building your company, building your industry, maybe 30 years, maybe 40 years. And you've been part of people's lives, and you've been vital and relevant. And then you get let go, and somebody says, "But don't worry, Steve. I hear Uber is hiring. You can always become an Uber driver." What the hell is that? What are we? And the net result to our sense of self can be devastating. Baby boomers, especially Gen X for sure. What we do is a big part of who we are. And I know that that might seem very trite, but we vest a lot of our personal worth in what we do for a living, in what we bring, in what we're able to produce, in our position. We vest a lot of our self-worth in that. And when that's taken away from us, when we get marginalized, we lose a big piece of ourself. And we see the results. Society pays for the results. Depression can follow, alcoholism, spousal abuse, suicide. All of these things cascade out of this loss of sense of purpose. So what to do? What can we do? Well, millennials have faced a challenging job market for a long time, but they figured something out early on. They figured out that social marketing, social networking, online business was a place that they could make their own way, and they didn't have to worry about anybody telling them they were welcome or not. They could just go and hang a shingle, and they could build a business, and they were off to the races. And they had some great mentors. They had people like Gary Vaynerchuk, who was telling them what they had to do and how they had to hustle and how they could build their business, and they have been really successful in that space and done tremendously well. And we should be proud of them. But baby boomers, I believe, look at online marketing, look at the social marketing space, look at the social selling space, and we think that it belongs to millennials. We think social networks belongs to millennials because they've excelled there, and we haven't spent a lot of time there. In a lot of cases, we have actively resisted being a part of it. So so baby boomers see that as not as a viable option for us. And to be fair, there's not a lot of role models of graybeards making their living in the social networking space. This YouTube channel here with me, for if you think it's big or you think it's small, it doesn't matter. The fact that I make my living from YouTube makes me a bit of a unicorn. People have heard of me, but they've never actually seen me. There's not a lot of other people that look exactly like me or that look like me that make their living on YouTube. But there's no reason we can't. There's actually lots of reasons why we should. We have so very much to offer this space, but we have to adjust our imagination and our mind to recognize the fact that we belong in the online space. And we not only do we belong in the online space, but I'm here to tell you that baby boomers can dominate the online space. That's why I say we are the gray wave. I think as baby boomers start to understand the power that they bring, the experience that they have, and they figure out what happens in the online world, that we are going to become an unstoppable wave. Here was a statistic that blew me away as I was doing all of the research on this. If you retired in 1965 and you were a man, and you were at 65 years old, so you retired in the 60s at 65 years old, I want you to guess how long your life expectancy was in the 60s. And I can remember, because I'm 61 years old now, so I was like a little kid in the 60s. I can remember many times sitting down with dinner with mom and dad looking across the table at mom and saying, "You won't believe about Barry." And mom goes, "What?" She goes, "He retired 2 years ago. He died." And this was not common, but it was fairly frequent that I remember that conversation being had. The life expectancy of a man retiring at 65 years old in the 60s was 4 years. Only 4 years. So a man who retired in 1965 didn't see the decade out, typically, on average. A man retiring today at 65, if you hit 65 years old today and you hit 65, your life expectancy in Canada at least, and I can only go by the Canadian statistics, is 19 years. And for women, it's 22 years. Now, that's awesome for us who are at that age, if we want to live that long, if we can stay healthy. But there's a whole bunch of challenges that we face as a result of that. The first challenge is we have to stay busy. The second challenge is we have to find a way to afford to live for these extra years that maybe we weren't planning on. And our social safety nets aren't going to be able to support us the way that they have been supporting elderly people, because there's less and less people in the workforce as we get packaged out and sent to pasture. In Canada now, baby boomers outnumber babies, and that's a problem. In a lot of cases, in my case, I don't want to retire. I don't want to be sitting on the sidelines and watch everybody else have fun. I want to be a player. I want to be a contender. I want to be part of my community and contributing to my last breath. I never just want to sit on the sidelines. So you're gonna have to push me out because I don't want to go, and I don't have to go. neither do you. If you are facing retirement, if you are at a point where you're thinking within a few years you might be retiring or concerned, you want to have something called a side hustle. Now, most baby boomers probably now know that term. It's in the DNA of millennials. Side hustle is that extra little business that you do on the side. You do it for revenue. You do it for that little bit extra money. You do it because it's a passion project. There's a lot of different reasons you do it. And you do it so you have an insurance policy of something that you can grow into if you decide that what you're doing isn't going to serve you anymore. Either you're not making enough money or the company goes away or all of these different things can happen. So we have to learn how to develop these side hustles, and we have to learn how to make them work. And for the most part, we understand an awful lot that we can bring to the table as far as the actual side hustle itself. But what we need help in is understanding this online marketplace, the world of online business, of social marketing, of social media, of content marketing. We need to learn those things. And that's really what I'm here tonight to share with you is we have an opportunity over the rest of this month, if you are interested, to join us in something that we call the B-School Bootcamp. And you can see a link down here at dottotech.com/bootcamp. If you join us there, you can join in every day. We're doing tutorial live streams in Facebook where we're teaching we're basically showing you the roadmap to creating an online business and the skills that you're going to need to bring to bear. And if you sign up at that link, what will happen is you'll opt in on our list so we can email you and let you know when we're doing our trainings. But there'll be two things that we ask you to do. The first is we'll ask you to download, sign up for a video series from Marie Forleo. B-School is Marie Forleo's course that teaches what we're talking about, that teaches the framework of an online business. And it's an excellent course. And we are an affiliate for it, so we're actually promoting it at the end of this process that we're on. That's one thing you do is sign up, because there's a 3-part video series that Marie delivers, which does a phenomenal job of putting us all on the same path, of understanding exactly what the framework of an online business is. The second thing we'll ask you to do is to join us in Facebook. Now, we've got a Facebook group that we call the Bootcamp, the B-School Bootcamp, where we're sharing and we're talking and we're communicating back and forth with other baby boomers and Gen Xers who are in various stages along the lines of having an online business. Some very successful and they want to up their skills. Others just exploring it for the first time because they're intrigued by the possibility. But one thing we have in common is we're all baby boomers, or we're all at least mature. And so we will be talking the same language. We have the same value system and the same life experience. And that happens on a daily basis in our Facebook group. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. our time, we'll be back on the air with a live stream into that group. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about how to sell without being spammy. So we're dealing with the issues and the concerns and the roadblocks that stop you from being interested in being a part of this business. So that's the purpose of our live stream tonight, is for me to invite you to join us there. And I hope that you would consider it. And now I know that there must be some questions or comments. And that's why April's here, not just to look pretty and tired.
Thanks. Why do I look tired?
No, you don't look tired, but you should. We've had a long day. So what are people saying? What's happening?
So let's see. Our friend Larry Snow is here. Hi, Steve and April. It's been a long time. How the heck you doing?
There you go.
Let's see.
Modern Day Tech says, I don't want to retire either. Who tells us we have to retire? You're absolutely right. Why would for me it's I don't know, it's almost become a bit of a cause for me, is that baby boom. I don't think anybody should have to stop working. We lose that sense of purpose, and oh man, it can be tragic. And if I was being pushed out and forced to retire, I would really feel sorry for myself. I would really struggle if I couldn't feel like I bring value to a community.
Chris was saying really important stuff, Steve. Later in life, people also can lose their network of support, which magnifies the problems.
Yeah, absolutely. You are bang on. And all of these things, there are cascading challenges that happen as a result of us, and to a certain extent, being marginalized. You've heard the term "okay boomer." Does it piss you off? It kind of pissed me off when I first heard it. And then I decided that we should own it. Because if people, that I think historically different groups have been marginalized at different times. And to be honest, baby boomers, we've had it easy for a long time. We've had our way, haven't we? It's the world's pretty much marched to our drum beat. And other generations are a little bit bitter over that, and rightfully so. They've got their beef. But we also know what's in our hearts, and we also know why we did things the way we did, and how hard we worked for our families, and how we committed ourselves, and how we sacrificed. And we know all of the good things we did, and we know how much good is still in us. The other thing we know is how much experience we have. And the experience economy is growing in value. If we need a better example of why the experience economy is important, all we have to do is look at Facebook and wonder how they would be different and better if they had a few graybeards on the board. I doubt they would have done some of the dumbass things that they've done if they had some people that had some experience. We've got a T-shirt. If you look down in our shopping cart, we've got a T-shirt which says "Experience is not something you can Google." And that's a really important statement. Baby boomers value, when we think about what we value what we've done. We respect each other for what we've done. Our experience is a big part of who we are and how we value and view ourselves. When a different generation looks at us and says, "Okay, boomer," dismisses us, and thinks that the things that we've learned, they can just search for, that affects us at a very deep and profound level. And we don't appreciate it. That's where a lot of the generational conflict comes from. And they're not going to change. They're our kids. Are they going to change? No. You know they're not going to change. So it's up to us, again, to figure it out. And we can figure it out. We just have to. Learning about the world of online business isn't rocket science. It's not difficult. It's there. It's just, in some ways, we're intimidated by it because it hasn't belonged to us historically. In other ways, we just aren't prepared to put the energy in to learn. Were you going to say something, April?
No, I put the wrong link in. So I'm putting the right link in. My friend, the network expert. So
okay,
there it is.
It's good stuff. Thank you. So where was I? I was talking about how the fact is that we don't, that we need, where was I? I should remember.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We've been doing this a lot. Sometimes when you're delivering the same kind of content in multiple streams, you kind of forget. And I'm sure it's my age. I remember back in the day, I could do this stuff with no trouble. I could live stream back in the 70s. I could live stream all day.
You know, one of the questions that actually came up, Adam was asking if we were live. And so we were having a conversation that, yes, we are live right now. It's not a replay.
We are live. Well, we're live if you're viewing this on February 13th. But this will be recorded, and this will be on YouTube as a recorded video. So if you're on February 13th, we're live. After that, this will be up for we'll leave it up for a while as a recording. So,
Dr. Emily was saying, how delightful. I agree 100%. The lack of face-to-face contact between one human and another is being trampled.
Yes. Yeah, there is, and we recognize all sorts of challenges with the online world. We do. Our generation, we recognize a lot of it. But here's the problem. One of the issues that we face is we also drag our heels and we resist the change. We resist the change that is the online world because A, it's hard work. B, we don't dominate this space. We don't really have ownership, and we feel a little bit insecure in the space. And here's an interesting thing that happens to boomers when we start entering into social networking and we start posting online and we start going into a space that we aren't necessarily confident about, is we feel a sense of insecurity. And for a lot of us, we haven't felt that type of insecurity of being in an unknown space and thinking unknown people and unseen people can be laughing at us, and we're not sure why, and we don't know what the rules of the road are. A lot of us haven't had that feeling since we were in high school, that insecurity. So consequently, when we feel that sense of insecurity and we're in an online space, we then react with anger or with judgment against the space. And we say, well, that's just stupid, right? We say, that's stupid, and we don't acknowledge the value of that space. And so we disengage from it. And guess what? Then when the world says, okay, boomer, and they look at us because we don't understand the world, we don't understand what's going on, they've got a point. We don't understand it. And it's on us at that point. It is on us. You know, when I grew up, when I was 17, I thought my parents were idiots. Didn't you think your parents were idiots at 17? But they were better at everything. They were better at everything in the world than I was. They were better writers, they were better communicators, they were better driver, they were better at making money, they were better at everything. But I still thought they were fools.
I just laugh at that. So because I have a 17-year-old that absolutely thinks that way of me these days.
I loved, is it Walt Whitman? Is it Walt Whitman or, no, it was not Walt Whitman. It was Mark Twain said, when I was 18, my father embarrassed me. But when I turned 40, I was really impressed with what the old man had learned in the last 2 decades. Right? It's perspective. But here's the thing. When kids today think we're idiots, often they have proof because we don't understand these networks. How many times have you heard a peer, maybe you've said it yourself, when you talk about let's talk about TikTok. Let's talk about TikTok right now. A lot of my peers and a lot of us here are going to go, oh, I'm too stupid for that. I don't understand that. I can't get that. I don't get that. And we admit, and we use words to the effect of that it is too complex or too subtle for us. We don't understand it. And not only that, but we tell the world that we can't understand it. It is past us. That pisses me off.
Which is not true.
That pisses me off. Because first of all, by saying it, you make it true to a certain extent. Secondly, by saying it, you tell the world that that's the way you look at yourself. And you're doing that as a defensive mechanism. You're not doing that because you really think you're stupid. You're doing that as a defensive mechanism. But those words count. And they shape the world around us. They shape how others look at us. They shape the trust that other generations have in us. And I think it's hurtful. And I get angry at my friends when they do that. They know better to do it around me because I jump on them because I think it's a big mistake for us to be doing those things. I know it's a big mistake because we don't want to give up our authority. We still have a lot to offer. And so when we do these things, when we self-marginalize, well, that's just wrong. And it's not what we can do. We're abjuring our responsibilities of leadership if we do that. We've still got a lot of gas in the tank. So embracing all of these technologies, embracing this, we don't do it because we love the technology. We do it to remain relevant. We do it to remain in the game. We do it to have influence. That's the reason that we still embrace these technologies. I'm not a fan of Facebook. I'm as critical as can be, but we use Facebook as the tool it is. I don't like Instagram, but I post on Instagram. Twitter drives me crazy. And I'll tell you the truth, TikTok doesn't inspire me at all. And I'm having trouble figuring out what the business model is. But I understand the platform. And I understand the addictive nature of it. And I'm impressed by the social engineering that's done that brings us into it and draws us into a rabbit hole. As I said, the other night I watched Facebook. The other night I spent 5 minutes watching TikTok for 3 hours. If you know what I mean. It's got that addictive nature in the fact that you slip down the rabbit hole. Sorry?
It does. I slip down the rabbit hole
Absolutely.
on TikTok.
Absolutely.
Social media, I think, in general can do that in some way, but TikTok, yes.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. People are saying, no, it's too simple. The phrase "okay boomer" is Chris hasn't heard the phrase "okay boomer." It's a big meme, Chris. And it's if somebody says "okay boomer" to you, they're basically saying, "Yo, idiot." Remember when they used to say "talk to the hand"? Okay, yes. Boomer is the old "talk to the hand." It's a dismissive phrase that basically marginalizes us. That's right. And what does Nigel says? Good point. Look forward, not back. TikTok is built on the meme culture, and it's also so ADHD. You know, your attention span has got to be like 15 seconds in TikTok. That's exactly what it is. And I will always post when people say I'm correct. I'm just saying right there, it's correct. Thumbs up to JYH.
It is, Adam. Yeah, without a doubt. I appreciate
that big time. So I get on my soapbox about this. You can tell I'm passionate about it, but that's what we are facing. And that's why I'm so excited, because I feel strongly about it. That's why I'm so excited about this group that we're forming, the B School Bootcamp, which I want to invite you into. To if you are interested in developing the chops, learning about online business, and figuring out how to set your experience against it. Maybe you're already on the path. You already have an online business. Maybe you've been thinking about it for a little while, but you haven't pulled the plug. Maybe you've got a friend who really needs this. And in that case, I encourage you to share this link with them and encourage them to get involved. We've got some other assets as well. We have a podcast called Gray Matters with Steve Dotto, which I talk about all of the issues facing baby boomers in the online world. We talk about the social aspect, but mainly we concentrate on the business aspect there as well, because business just fascinates me. But I think our generation has to band together and has to kind of pull up our socks and not accept the fact that parts of the world think that we are past it, and we aren't past it. And the cool thing is that we can sneak right past them, and they won't see what's coming. Bottom line is, baby boomers still hold the bulk of the wealth. And we're still pretty sharp upstairs. And we have something that no other generation has, and that's the experience. Well, the generations ahead of us have it. And Gen X, you guys got it as well. But the graybeards, we have experience. And so we've made mistakes, and we know what the cost of making mistakes is. One thing our generation does is we do tend to avoid mistakes more than other generations, and I think that the younger generation embracing their mistakes is a real cool new way of looking at things, and we talk about that in the group. But the bottom line is we've been through those wars, and so when we look and we evaluate an opportunity, or we look at a business opportunity, we've got a lot to bring to bear. And it's just kind of figuring out this new type of mall that is the online world. What do we got here? Larry, I got my first OK Boomer on a YouTube comment. Did you, Larry? I was getting it a long time ago before OK Boomer was there. A lot of people called me Grandpa on YouTube. I would get a lot of OK Grandpa, or maybe not. I'm just saying OK, but I was getting a lot of Grandpa, which I knew was not said with fondness. But there you go. Okay, that's a badge of courage, Larry. An absolute badge of courage. Sandra, live with Sandra V. I need to binge watch the units tomorrow. If you join the Facebook group, Sandra, we've got them all. They are all in units, as a matter of fact. So April has gone through and she's taken all of our live streams. I think we've done 8 or 9 now, and she's put them all. They're pretty long. They're 45 minutes each. April gives me heck every time. She goes, Steve, we're going to make it 20 minutes today, right? And I go, absolutely. And my inner voice goes, not. Because it takes us 45 minutes, it seems, every time. That's my energy. You'll see. In about 20 minutes from now or 15 minutes from now, I'll fade. I'll just go, okay, nap time for Steve, and it's time for me to go. but I'm good for 45 minutes. There we go.
Appreciate the. So I'm putting the link in here, and I think for those of you that have not looked at it, I think you'll appreciate the boomer image that's on this page.
Which one is that?
Says,
the OK,
yeah,
the OK Boomer Time for Change?
Yeah. At
work, they call me the elder. Now, do they say it with respect, Adam, or do they say it derisively? Yeah, it's that's an interesting. You know that the phrase that I mentioned it earlier. The phrase that I'm really loving these days is the experience economy. Is how much value we have from the experiences that we've had. And think about it. My gosh, personally, one of the reasons that I think we've been successful in online media, in content creation, is my background. If some of you probably don't know, my background is in television. I did a TV show in Canada for about 20 years. So I produced and hosted a TV show. So this medium of video is something that's very, very comfortable to me. So YouTube was a natural outgrowth. As a matter of fact, when I started on YouTube, I was a little judgy about YouTube itself. I thought, no, I'm a TV guy. I'm a personality I'm a B-list celebrity from television. I'm on the medium screen. I don't want to be on this little screen. But oh my gosh, did I ever turn the corner when I discovered what YouTube meant and what the community on YouTube, the fact that right now what's happening allowed me to talk to the people who watch my content. When you're on TV, you never get a chance to talk to the people that watch your content. Your customers are advertising agents and network executives and advertising hacks and all sorts of people who just aren't the people who watch. The people who watch your audience is an afterthought. But on YouTube, it's an epiphany because you get to talk to people who make a difference. And so there's a lot of wonderful aspects to this online business. The community building and the communications and the the vastness of the marketplace. Oh my gosh, for anybody who's been in business and struggled to gain market share and worked on and understood how hard it is to gain market share in a competitive industry, one of the really cool things about the online space, and you're not going to believe me right now if you aren't in online business, but there is virtually no competition in online business. And I don't mean that there's not other people that do what you do, but just the marketplace is so vast and the opportunity for connection and interaction is so profound that you can build a business with a much smaller following that can be as vertical as you want. And one of the biggest benefits and one of the biggest strategies that we propose, that we teach you, is to niche down as much as possible. The more you focus on the more niche and the more special you are, the more value you have to your community. And your community can still be huge by practical standards, and you still own almost 0% of the internet marketplace. So there's no ceiling on growth. Consequently, you have to kind of reevaluate your expectations. What's going on?
No, so Paul is asking, did Dotto have short, spiky hair back in the day?
I've had a variety of different haircuts. My hair today is a little bit akimbo because I just got back from the gym. So I'm not properly coiffed. So, sorry?
Dotto's Data Cafe.
Oh, good Lord. Yes. So for those of you that aren't on with us, I thought you were trying to be funny with meant Dotto, but the spell checked wrong. So
No, you're worried about your hair. We were talking back in the day. Now you just made it worse, whatever you just did. Shouldn't touch it.
I don't care.
Leave it alone.
I'm not trying to impress right now. The first one of the first TV shows I did was called Dotto's Data Cafe, and there's some great little videos on it. Actually, if you want to really have fun and you want to laugh at me, is look for April could probably find a video called Cruising the Internet, which was the first TV series second TV series that we did, and this was before we were making TV shows about technology back before the internet was a thing, before there was the World Wide Web. We were teaching people how to use Eudora and Fetch and all of these other tools to go and to get to exchange information online before you had a web browser. That's how far back I go. My grade has been earned. So what do we got?
You have a question from, let's see. Actually, what's update? I'm curious why you are specifically targeting this towards boomers. Is there something really different about a boomer starting a business versus anyone else?
Yes and
Great
no.
question.
So here's the thing. Baby boomers need the help right now. I believe that our generation is a little bit insecure about the online space. So I'm taking on the responsibility of kind of being a little bit of a leader and trying to show them exactly what's happening. Millennials don't need my help. You've got Gary Vaynerchuk and a variety of other people, Amy Landino. There's a lot of people who teach you guys how to do online business, and you're good at it. Boomers aren't so much. But there's also the fact that there's not as many of us online means that we don't have as many role models out there. So I think that we're an underserved community. And one of the business principles of online business is the more, I just mentioned it, the more that you niche down, the more powerful your message and the more relevant your message is to an audience. So if we focus on boomers, then we are speaking the same language. We have the same value system. We have the same set of experiences. If I talk about Casey and Finnegan to Canadians, they know who I'm talking about because nobody else knows. Because we remember, we have common life experience. So that makes our group and the support and the dialogue more trustworthy and more relevant as we go along. So it's a good marketplace for me to focus on. The teaching that we're going to do, all generations can benefit from. And we've got a lot of people who follow us that are younger and older. But I focus it on boomers because that's where the market is, that's where my passion is, that's where the need is, and that's where the money is.
And Gen Xers too.
Yes, Gen Xers too.
Can be, yeah.
And we always leave you out. I'm sorry, we always leave Gen Xers out.
I know, because I don't have a gray beard.
That's right.
Let's see. Adam was saying, and we have the best music. Let's see. I got my first computer in 1976, Ken is saying. It was a Radio Shack Model 1, no color.
There we go. I hear you. And the networks expert. That's a good name. Are you like an adjustment person? But what about Gen Xers? Yes, we love you too. There's just less of you, and I'm a baby boomer. And to be honest, marketing wise, the word boomer is way more fun and it trips off the tongue way better than Gen Xers. You've got a badly named generation. Boomers, that's an awesome generation name, and it's easy to market and easy to sell.
Okay. Let's see. Dotto the mentor, Paul is saying, I did share your cruising the internet video.
Okay. Oh no.
And yes.
Oh, there it is. Oh yeah.
Let's see.
If you watch that closely, if you watch it long enough, you'll see I got a big ass mullet in the back of my head. Not and yes, I'm telling you, the years have been kind to me. My youth was not my best. I didn't really come of age till my 40s.
All right. I can't pronounce the name, so it's like Kaya
She goes,
Katsuki.
yeah, millennials don't
Yeah.
need any help. Now I don't have any reason to be here anymore. Well, you can enjoy what we have to offer, but your generation has an awful lot more leaders in this space teaching you. That's all I'm saying. And I do appreciate you being here, but I do focus our attention here on baby boomers. So that's good. The sky is the limit. That's you that said that right there. So
Yes.
agree.
Yep.
Boomers equals possibilities. You are right. I'm excited about this. So listen, I don't want to spend too much more of your time this evening. It's late. April and I have been on the air a lot today. I think we've got our message across that we'd love to see you joining us in the Facebook group and talking. We'll be doing a few more of these on YouTube as well as we go along. Of course, we've got the YouTube. The YouTube marketplace is excellent for us to be promoting this product, and so many of you are there. And how many people do we have on right now? We got like 66 people. That's an awesome turnout for a live. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your questions and your comments. And those of you who are new to us, welcome aboard. Those of you who recognize us from before, well, it's good to see you again. Larry Snow, it's a face from the past. It's good to have seen you in here. And so I'll get April to drop the link one more time. Sign up for this opt-in in order to join us in our B-School Bootcamp. We've got 2 or 3 more weeks of daily live streams where we're going to be talking about these issues. I don't expect you to participate in each and every one, but join the conversation. Start thinking about where your online business could take you if you haven't yet got one, or if you want to up your chops and really join in with a group that can help you understand and improve your comprehension and strategies and your toolkit, well, then join us. And I think your time will be well spent, and we will appreciate you being there. April, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night and have a great day on the other side of the world. Thanks so
That's
much
right for
for
everybody.
coming.
Till next time, have fun storming a castle.